Consumer protection, an overview. We are aware that manufacturers and service providers offer products and services to fulfill needs and wants of consumers on the one hand, and to increase their level of profit, sales and market share on the other. However, in an attempt to increase their sales and market share, these producers may be tempted to engage in unfair trade practices like defective and unsafe products, adulteration, false and misleading advertising, black marketing, just to name a few. Hence, there is a need to provide adequate protection to consumers against such practices of the sellers. According to the Cambridge Advanced Learning Dictionary, consumer protection is the protection of buyers of goods and services against low-quality or dangerous products and advertisements that deceive people. Consumer protection includes educating consumers about their rights and responsibilities and helping them to seek redressal of their grievances. Importance of consumer protection. From consumers' point of view, the importance of consumer protection from the consumer's point of view can be understood from the following points. 1. Consumer ignorance. Majority of the consumers are ignorant about the rights and reliefs available to them. Hence, it becomes necessary to educate them about the same to achieve consumer awareness. 2. Unorganized consumers. Consumers need to get together and form themselves into powerful consumer organizations to protect and promote their own interests. 3. Widespread exploitation of consumers. Consumer protection plays a vital role as consumers might be exploited by unscrupulous, exploitative and unfair trade practices like defective and unsafe products, adulteration, false and misleading advertising, hoarding, black marketing, etc. Importance of consumer protection from the point of view of business. It is also important for business units to protect consumers and adequately satisfying them due to the following reasons. 1. Long-term interest of business. Business firms should aim at long-term profit maximization through customer satisfaction. Customer satisfaction not only leads to repeat sales but also increase the customer base of business. 2. Business uses society's resources. Business organizations use resources which belong to the society. Hence, it is a responsibility of business firms to offer those products and services that are in public interest. 3. Social responsibility. Business organizations make money by selling goods and providing services to consumers. Hence, consumers form an important group of stakeholders and business organizations should take care of the group. 4. Moral justification. It is the moral duty of any business organization to take care of consumers' interest and avoid any form of their exploitation. 5. Government intervention. A business firm should take care of consumers' needs and interests as its involvement in any form of exploitative trade practices would invite government intervention or action. Such government intervention may damage the image and position of the company in the society. Legal protection to consumers. In order to provide adequate protection to consumers, the Government of India has enacted a number of regulations. Let us understand some of these regulations. 1. The Consumer Protection Act, 1986. The Act provides safeguards to consumers against different forms of exploitation, such as defective goods, deficient services, unfair trade practices, and so on. The Act also makes provisions for establishment of consumer councils and other authorities for the settlement of consumer disputes and matter therewith connected. 2. The Contract Act, 1982. This Act lays down the conditions in which the promises made by parties to a contract will be binding on each other. The Act also specifies the remedies available to parties in case of breach of contract. 3. The Sale of Goods Act, 1930. This Act provides some safeguards and reliefs to the buyers of the goods if the goods purchased do not comply with implied conditions or warranties. 4. The Essential Commodities Act, 1955. This Act was enacted to ensure the easy availability of essential commodities to consumers and to protect them from exploitation by profiteers, hoarders, and black marketers. The Act provides for the regulation and control of production, distribution, and pricing of essential commodities. 5. The Agricultural Produce, Grading and Marking Act, 1937. This Act prescribes grade standards for agricultural commodities and allied commodities. These are known as AgMark standards, an acronym for agricultural marketing. The Act lays down the procedure for grading, marking, and packing of agricultural produce. 6. The Prevention of Food Adulteration Act, 1954. The Act aims to protect the consumers from poisonous and harmful foods and prevent the sale of substandard foods in order to maintain public health. 7. The Standards of Weights and Measures Act, 1976. The provisions of this Act are applicable in case of those goods which are sold or distributed by weight, measure, or number. The Act aims at ensuring that consumers get products with right weight and measurements. 8. The Trademarks Act, 1999. This Act has replaced the Trade and Merchandise Marks Act, 1958. The Act provides protection to consumers by preventing the use of fraudulent marks on products. 9. The Competition Act, 2002. This Act has replaced the Monopolies and Restrictive Trade Practices Act, 1969. The Act provides protection to consumers by refraining traders to promote any activity which hampers competition in the market. 10. The Bureau of Indian Standards Act, 1986. This Act provides for the establishment of the Bureau of Indian Standards for the harmonious development of the activities of standardization, marking, and quality certification of goods. This act permitted manufacturers to use the ISI mark on their products after ensuring that the goods conform to the prescribed quality standards. The Bureau has also set up a grievance cell where consumers can make a complaint about the quality of products carrying the ISI mark. Ways and means of consumer protection. There are various ways of protecting the interests of consumers. 1. Self-regulation by business. The business organization themselves can promote consumer protection by regulating their own behavior and actions. Socially responsible firms follow ethical standards and practices in dealing with their customers. Firms establish customer service and grievance cells to redress the problems and grievances of their consumers. 2. Business associations. The associations of trade, commerce and business like Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce of India or FICCI and Confederation of Indian Industries or CII can check unfair trade practices used by some business organizations through their code of conduct. 3. Consumer awareness. In order to protect his interests, a consumer should know the rights and the reliefs available to him. 4. Consumer organizations. Consumer organizations awaken consumers by educating them about their rights. These organizations provide protection to consumers by taking organized action and forcing business firms to adopt fair trade practices. 5. Government. The government can protect consumers' interests through legislative, executive, and judicial actions. The executive should strictly enforce the laws passed by the government. Government of India encompasses several legislations to protect the interests and rights of consumers. Redressal agencies under the Consumer Protection Act. In order to resolve consumer disputes, the Consumer Protection Act 1986 provides for the establishment of a three-tier enforcement machinery at the national, state and district levels. These are the National Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission, National Commission, the State Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission, State Commission, the District Consumer Dispute Redressal Forum, District Forum, respectively. The objectives of these councils are to help the respective governments in adopting and reviewing policies for promoting and protecting consumers' rights. Let us now understand how the consumer grievances are redressed by the three-tier machinery under the Consumer Protection Act. District Forum. Under the Consumer Protection Act, the state government has to set up a district forum in each district of the state. Each district forum consists of a president who is qualified to be a district judge and two other members, one of whom should be a woman. They are appointed by the state government concerned. The district forum has the jurisdiction to deal with all complaints where the value of the goods or services and the compensation claimed is less than 20 lakh rupees. State Commission. Like the district forum, the state commissions are set up by the respective state government in the state. Each state commission consists of a president who is or has been a judge of a high court, and 2 other members, one of whom should be a woman. They are appointed by the state government concerned. The state commissions are empowered to deal with cases where the value or amount involved exceeds 20 lakh rupees but does not exceed 1 crore rupees. The state commissions also deal with appeals against the orders of any district forum in the state. National Commission. The National Commission is set up by the central government. The National Commission consists of a president, who is or has been a judge of the Supreme Court, and 4 other members, one of whom should be a woman. They are appointed by the central government. The National Commission have jurisdiction to take up all claims and grievances exceeding the value of 1 crore rupees. The Commission also has power to entertain appeals against the orders of any state commission. The National Commission, state commissions and district forums need to decide complaints within a period of 3 months from the date of notice received by consumers if a complaint does not require analysis or testing of commodities, and within 5 months if it requires analysis or testing of commodities. On the receipt of a complaint, a copy of the complaint is to be referred to the trader against whom the complaint is filed. The goods or a sample may be sent for testing in a laboratory if required. Then, the complaint will be decided after considering the test report from the laboratory and hearing the trader. An order passed by a district forum is appealable before the concerned state commission. By a state commission is appealable before the national commission. And by a national commission is appealable before the Supreme Court within a period of 30 days. On finding a consumer's complaint genuine, a consumer court may ask a trader against whom the complaint is filed to remove the defect in goods or deficiency in service, to replace the defective product with a new one free from any defect, to refund the price or charges paid for a product or a service respectively, to pay a reasonable amount of compensation for any loss or injury suffered by the consumer due to the negligence of the trader or dealer, to pay compensation in excess of actual damage in appropriate circumstances, to discontinue the unfair restrictive trade practice and not to repeat it in future, to cease manufacturing of hazardous goods and to withdraw the same from sale, to pay any amount not less than 5% of the value of the defective goods or deficient services provided, to be credited to the Consumer Welfare Fund or any other organization or person to be utilized in the prescribed manner, and to issue corrective advertisement to neutralize the effect of a misleading advertisement. In a nutshell, consumer protection refers to activities of government, business and independent organizations designed to protect consumers from unfair trade practices like defective and unsafe products, adulteration, false and misleading advertising, black marketing, just to name a few. The Indian legal framework consists of a number of regulations which provide protection to consumers. These include 1. The Consumer Protection Act, 1986. 2. The Contract Act, 1982. 3. The Sale of Goods Act, 1930. 4. The Essential Commodities Act, 1955. 5. The Agricultural Produce, Grading and Marking Act, 1937. 6. The Prevention of Food Adulteration Act, 1954. 7. The Standards of Weights and Measures Act, 1976. 8. The Trademarks Act, 1999. 9. The Competition Act, 2002. 10. The Bureau of Indian Standards Act, 1986. The various ways in which the objective of consumer protection can be achieved are: 1. Self-regulation by business. 2. Business associations. 3. Consumer awareness. 4. Consumer organizations. 5. Government. The Consumer Protection Act 1986 mandates establishment of quasi-judicial bodies in each district and state and at the national level to provide inexpensive and speedy redressal of consumer disputes. These are known as the district forums, the State Consumer Disputes Redressal Commissions, and the National Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission, respectively.